prevention of firework craziness with your dog. A lot of dogs become very stressed, highly anxious during the fireworks season of July 4th and New Year's Eve, or maybe you just live in a neighborhood where fireworks are pretty much year-round. How do you help your dog develop more calmness around these sorts of sounds and scenarios? Well, there's a few things that you can do. Number one is crate training. Make sure your dog is crate trained. Crates are fantastic tools and beneficial for a lot of different reasons, but we're going to focus on just this one today as far as fireworks, because a crate encourages calm behavior if introduced properly. Okay, not every dog loves a crate, but a lot of them do, and they can learn, or they can learn to. Okay, so there is a proper way of going about it. Be sure to check out our crate training 101 video series for that if you need to go through that process. So make sure you have your crate ready. Make sure your dog's used to being in the crate on a regular basis, day or night, when you're home, when you're not home. And then that way, when fireworks season comes into play, you can send your dog off into the crate because they know, oh, this is just my den. This is my calm space, right? This is where the dog feels secure. And if you really think about it, a lot of times when dogs get nervous or fearful, they usually run and hide to a small place. That's because they're den animals, okay? So if you create the crate to be like their den, then it's going to be a very safe and secure place for the dog, and you're going to get more calm behaviors out of them during, specifically during situations like when there's fireworks out. Okay, so number one, use your crate. Number two, which is what I'm going to focus here in this video, is actually showing you how to desensitize your dog to fireworks. Okay, so this is something that you need to do long before or leading up to these days when you're going to be experiencing a lot of fireworks in your neighborhood. Okay, so YouTube is a fantastic tool. It may sound a little silly, but it's a creative way to go about desensitizing your dog to sounds like fireworks. We actually use this for a lot of different sounds like doorbells, car doors, knocking, all kinds of different things that typically encourage a reactivity with our dog. So fireworks included. YouTube is full of videos with firework sounds, different kinds, whether they're very random or just bursts of fireworks. So use your search, your search tab in your YouTube and type in firework sounds, sound effects, and start playing a bunch of videos. Some of these will run for hours, so you can literally have them on all day, maybe when you're gone, and have them, looping, which should be extremely helpful to help your dog just get desensitized. If these sounds aren't a big deal, they're not that scary, they're just random, they're just normal sounds throughout our day, okay? So you can use this while the dog's spending time in the crate, while the dog's in the other room, while the dog's right next to the screen or the stereo, whatever you're using, and change it up. Make it random in your day. Don't just have it on constantly. So that it can be more unpredictable for the dog and be more realistic. But either way, having these sounds on are going to be helpful in desensitizing the dog to these sounds, okay? Now, if the dog does want to react, what can you do? Say they want to bark. You can correct the barking. You can punish the barking because it is a behavior that we don't want to encourage, right? So you can use a bonker, you can use e-collar if that's what you're working with. You can use leash correction. Whatever valuable no you have in place with your dog and that they understand, use that and tell them that's not the option that we want to encourage. Rather, we want to encourage calmness. That's why the crate is really good. That's why being on place, if you have that command in your toolbox, use that. These tools create a more, or they encourage a more calm behavior, right? That's the idea of crate in place. So use them to your advantage, okay? And punish any behavior you do not like, all right? Now the last thing I want to bring out too is that many times we tend to comfort our dogs when they feel uncomfortable, when they feel fearful. In reality, it's actually the last thing you want to do for your dog. Dogs don't behave the same way as humans do. They're not emotional creatures like us. So, as much as maybe we want to believe, the affection actually is going to reinforce the behavior that they're presenting. So if they're fearful and you're petting and you're soothing, you're actually reinforcing the fearful behavior, the fearful reaction that they're having. Versus if you correct any fear-related type things like pacing, like barking, like whining, if you correct it, you're more likely to get a dog that stops and relaxes and tries something different, tries a different behavior. And until you get the behavior that you like, which is calm, quiet, and relaxed, then you've done the right thing, okay? So use the tools that you have to your advantage, and if you don't have those tools in place, like the crate and like place, learn them. Teach your dog today. Start practicing, start prepping them, start desensitizing, start getting all those things in place so that when the day comes, you're fully prepared, you've done everything you can, and you work them through that, okay? So crate, place, desensitize with videos and sounds, and correct for any behaviors that are not calm, quiet, collected, confident, okay? So of course these aren't the only things that you can do. There's a lot of other little things that you can add on to this. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. But I want you to have a good general idea of what you can do, and these 3 things are all things that are going to require some effort. So be sure to get started, see what you get, troubleshoot through the way, and feel free to reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help you. All right. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and follow so that we can continue to offer you these free tips so that we can help you in your dog training journey. All right, you guys, take care and bye for now.